Yo, what's up, y'all? This Philosophical from the Less Rap Podcast, and this is your Freedom Friday. What's been on my mind this week is that I want to speak on, I'm going to also turn this into a series on two things that are important to men, right? I'll give you a little sneak peek of it. One is their manhood, and two is the money. Today, we're going to talk about money, right? We're going to talk about today, as far as this manipulation, right, as far as money. Let's be honest here, right? 9 times out of 10, a woman's life growing up isn't mainly focused on money, right? But on the other hand, a man's mindset is either, you know, we're being thrown out in the lion's den as far as real life, as far as whether we out in the streets, whether we got to work as an early age, we got to provide, right? So the mindset has already been turned and the wheels are turning as far as like we're already in money mode. We're already in a money mindset. The wheels are turning as far as the ambition side, right? Now the issue is that the reasons why a lot of our men out here aren't as ambitious or hustlers or go-getters as we should be and really going after what our purpose is the fact that it's just the way the foundation has been laid as far as going to get it, right? So let's speak on it. Women are mostly brought up on an easier path when it comes to money, as far as let's speak on it from a perspective of, they're being taken care of, right? They're taught to be a little bit more intellectual, a little bit smarter. They're taught to be unfortunately, sorry to say this, beautiful, right? They're taught to be book smart. They're taught to be independent, right? A woman that has a money mindset is a masculine personality. She has been taught as far as going to get her money, only thinking about money and being independent when it comes to money. It's masculine personality, right? So a woman has it a lot easier when it comes to growing up and not having to worry about money. And there are certain situations in the environment where she may be in a poor environment and having to rely on her. That's relying on her parents, her single mother, father, having to take care of her. But we as men traditionally are put out in the wolves pasture by 16, right? So let's speak on it on a dating and relationship, right? A lot of single women out here let's keep it real, are working because they have to. They're working because they don't have that crutch of a man to be able to take care of them, right? And we as men, as providers, as go-getters, some of us are taught to take care of the women, right? So here lies the problem, right? This is where the manipulation comes in. This is where the agenda comes in, right? If you and another person are in a relationship, dating, you're living together, right? There are certain desires that women want, right? Whether she wants a certain, there's always the expectation that she has set in her mindset from her growing up that either she is setting an expectation for herself, or someone that has set this expectation for her, right? And we all know, as far as from speaking to women, being with women, it's hard for women to forget anything, right? So when that expectation is ingrained in a woman's mind to say, I want this certain expectation, I want this certain president, we'll call it a lifestyle. It's up to the man to provide that. Why? Because that's what they've been taught financially, right? It's very rare, and it takes a lot of investigative homework and a lot of initiative on the man's part to run into a woman who is financially responsible, has the mindset to want to build. That doesn't, but in turn, doesn't require much. It's low maintenance, right? And 9 times out of 10, we as men aren't going for that. We aren't pursuing that. We aren't pursuing women who are low maintenance, that is easy to build with, supportive, encouraging, right? Somebody you could be vulnerable with, somebody you could be open with. But at the same time, the problem is men, we're choosing women that want to be saved, that have this expectation of a certain lifestyle that it's your job to provide. Or if you don't have that, you need to provide it. And I'm trying to understand, is this a written rule? Who's to say that it is a man's job to fulfill a woman's lifestyle? Right? Too many times we look at a man, women look at a man to fit a certain lifestyle that they're not willing to work for. A lot of times, unreasonable expectations made by women are the issues of men financially setting those expectations for women. So whenever that relationship or that dating opportunity doesn't work out, what do you think happens to the next man when she goes to the next man? The expectation, in fact, doesn't stay the same. It gets higher, right? I want the big house. You got to be able to afford the big house. I want a set number of kids. You notice on a lot of these dating shows, social media, a lot of women are saying that I want X number of kids. I want to live in the big house, you know? But at the same time, we as men were forgetting on the expectation of who's going to provide that, who's paying for that. That's why there's such a difference of high value men and low value men. The low value men are trying to present themselves as someone that has a lot of money that can provide this lifestyle, but they can't provide it for the long term, right? The low maintenance women are looking to the low maintenance women that don't require a lot of the extravagant lifestyle, pressuring you to buy this for them as an expectation. They're willing to build this, which requires patience, which requires a building foundation, which in turn builds a relationship and builds a quality marriage. Too many times, women are expecting men to lay down the expectation for them to have a certain lifestyle, and we as men, we're killing ourselves providing that because of that's the way we've been taught as at the age of 16 as a young man. You need to make enough money to support a woman that is wants unrealistic lifestyles. But in turn, when a man says, I'm not paying for that expectation or lifestyle that you want, there are a couple of reasons why, right? I'm not doing it. The women rebel and think all men are no good, right? When a woman wants a certain expectation, right, and a man either chooses to fulfill that expectation financially or does not choose to, there's a certain response that she gives you. And if that response is no, they seem to dog all men. But in turn, what men are doing is they're staying in these relationships because they feel obligated to provide the expectation. And my question is, why? Right? Why are you staying in relationships, marriages, knowing you can't provide this expectation? Why? Because you're either a go-getter or you're not. You either have it or you don't. Not saying that you have to be a high value man, but if you're not striving for your purpose to get there, why are you dating someone that is putting the expectation on you, right? Not saying that you'll never get there, but a lot of things today, they want it quick. They want it right now. Not everybody's willing to be patient. But we choose these type of situations over the women that are low maintenance, that are willing to build. We let our pride get in the way, man, of saying, hey, she's not cool enough. She's not good enough in bed. She doesn't look a certain way, right? She's not telling me how to be a man. She's not telling me how to spend my money, right? We call that the mother complex. Stop thinking that a woman is your mother. You know, you can call your mom any time of the day and talk to her, right? But not as your woman. And that's the problem. We're valuing women with these unrealistic expectations as obligations to stay with them as a mother complex, instead of making the right choices of being with women, building with women, and women that are willing to support you and be patient for women who aren't. And that's just the bottom line. That's the issue. That's the problem. That's what it boils down to. Men that aren't go-getters and women that have unrealistic expectations for the lifestyle, that it's an agenda, it's manipulation that they're placing on you. But we as men, we're not smart enough to understand that, or we stay in there because we feel obligated to provide, but you're not a go-getter. So what do? Right? You supplement to try to improve your performance in the bedroom to keep a woman like this. What do? You try to go out the box and be someone that you're not. What do? You try to look at other men on how, what they're doing or what you should be, right? But not actually understanding who you need to be first to get to that point, right? And that's just the bottom line. It's too much manipulation. It's too much, I'll even say it, dictatorship in the dating space and relationships on women, first of all, telling us how we should be men, telling us how we should spend our money. And then men, we're staying and accepting these expectations, knowing you can't provide because you're not a go-getter, right? And to the men that can, right? Are you bored? You know, you don't, you are you really willing to accept someone? Like, there's a reason of how you got to the point of being a high value man, right? So are you willing to, it's almost like you're degrading your standards to save someone, to provide this expectation, and in return, what are you getting? Sex? Don't you want to multiply your money? Don't you want to multiply and make good on your investment? Because that's really what it is. The expectations of a man trying to accommodate a woman's expectations, her lifestyle, is an investment. You either can go good on your investment or you can go bad on your investment, right? Because I want you men to understand, if you choose to live upon these expectations and the investment goes bad, or I want you to understand that as you provide a certain expectation, it gets higher and higher and higher. The pressure becomes more and more and more and more. What do? She decides to leave you tomorrow. You decide to leave her tomorrow. What are you left with? What did you learn from that situation? So free yourself from the manipulation. Free yourself from the agendas. Stop the agendas. Stop the manipulation. Learn to build with someone. Be patient with someone. Stop the pressure, because the expectations causes pressure on a man to provide expectations of a lifestyle you're not willing to work for at all. So free yourself from the agendas, free yourself from manipulations, and let's let's just build better dating, marriages, and relationships and stop it all. All right. I'm Philosophical from the Let's Rock podcast. Make sure you guys like and subscribe on the channel. Make sure you guys let us know. Love to hear you guys' feedback. All right. Philosophical. I'm out.